How Erika Kirk's views could shape Turning Point USA. Imagine your spouse is murdered on live camera. Your kids are still asking where daddy is. You're suddenly running the huge organization he built. And on top of all that, someone who used to be in your inner circle is online every day spinning theories about what really happened. That's the pressure cooker Erika Kirk is living in right now. And it's why she's snapping back at Candace Owens for what she sees as nonstop, baseless conspiracies about Charlie Kirk's death. Let's talk about it. So, quick reset for anyone who's been half watching this drama from the sidelines. Charlie Kirk was the founder and face of Turning Point USA. After he was assassinated at a campus event, the whole conservative world kind of froze. His wife, Erika, went from being the supportive partner and behind-the-scenes organizer to the public widow and the new CEO of TPUSA almost overnight. At the same time, instead of the story being simply, this guy was killed, let's figure out who did it and why, a whole wave of conspiracy content started rising up online. Some of it from random accounts, some from people with big platforms, and a lot of it tied back to Candace Owens. Candace, who used to be closely associated with Turning Point, has been questioning everything. The motives, the suspects, the funeral, the timeline, even hinting at shadowy forces in foreign governments. She frames it as just asking questions, but to Erika, it's coming off as, you're turning my husband's death into content. Now fast forward to Erika finally saying, enough. You can see a real shift in her tone. She's not doing the polished, careful PR thing anymore. She's visibly angry, she's emotional, and honestly, she's human. She basically calls the conspiracies a mind virus, this idea that people can't accept tragedy at face value, so they build a more dramatic story, even if it tears real families apart. From Erika's side, this looks like an attack from within. These aren't critics who always hated Charlie. These are people who used to speak on the same stages, share green rooms, and text with him. So when someone like Candace hints that there's more to the story, Erika hears, maybe the widow knows more. Maybe she's hiding something. Maybe the organization is dirty. And she's like, absolutely not. In some of the clips making the rounds, Erika's message is pretty simple. Stop. Stop dragging my husband's name through conspiracy content. Stop implying that his own team or his own family are part of something sinister. Stop feeding people fantasies when they're already obsessed with this case. That stop is doing a lot of work. It's not just aimed at Candace. It's aimed at an entire conspiracy culture that treats every tragedy as a puzzle and every grieving person as a suspect. Now, to be fair, let's talk about how Candace sees it. From her perspective, she frames herself as anti-narrative, anti-cover-up, the person who's willing to go where the mainstream won't go. She says she's looking at money trails, influence, who benefits, who has power, and what doesn't add up. To her audience, that's bravery. It's I'm not going to just cry and move on. I want answers. She also pushes back on the idea that Erika's grief should shut down questions. The way she talks about it, she'll say something like, I can feel empathy for a widow and still demand transparency from a major organization. So when Erika calls the conspiracies garbage, Candace hears, you're trying to silence me and anyone who doesn't trust the official story. So you've got two women, both saying they're standing for truth, both saying they're protecting something important. Erika says she's protecting her husband's legacy and her kids. Candace says she's protecting the public from being lied to. And they are completely clashing over what truth even looks like. Here's where it gets bigger than just these two. This whole situation is a case study in what happens when grief meets content. For Erika, this is her life. For the internet, it's a storyline. Think about how fast people move on to theories instead of facts, how quickly they start connecting random dots, how comfortable they are accusing people they've never met. For Candace, controversy has always been part of the brand. She built her platform on saying the thing other people won't say, calling out hypocrisy, questioning everything. That same instinct is now being pointed at a woman who just buried her husband. So viewers are split. Some people are firmly team Erika. Let that woman grieve. If you don't have hard evidence, keep your mouth shut and stop turning her pain into thumbnails and titles. Other people are firmly team Candace. If something feels off, we don't owe silence to anybody. We're allowed to question powerful organizations, even if they're run by widows. And a lot of people are stuck in the middle, feeling like, yes, questions matter, but also, where is the line between honest skepticism and exploiting someone's trauma? Another layer here is trust inside the conservative movement itself. Charlie and Candace were supposed to be on the same side. Erika was part of that universe too. Now you've got factions forming around them. The institution crowd that wants to protect TPUSA and the outsider crowd that thinks almost everything is a psyop and nothing is what it seems. That split isn't just about this one case. It's about who people trust going forward. Do they trust big organizations? Or do they trust lone commentators with a mic and a theory? And once you turn everything into a conspiracy, is there any room left for something to just be what it is, a tragedy? From a distance, what stands out most is how little space we give people to just be human. Erika is trying to be a CEO, a public figure, a mom, and a widow under a microscope. Candace is trying to be a truth teller in an ecosystem that rewards the wildest, most you won't believe this version of every story. The internet then grabs both of them and turns them into content. Erika destroys Candace. Candace exposes Erika. The truth they don't want you to know. Lost in all that, an actual person died. 2 kids lost their dad. A movement lost its leader. A friend group shattered. And anyone who was actually in that circle is now watching people they've never met argue about it like it's a TV show. You don't have to pick a side to see that this is messy. You can think, yeah, powerful organizations should be questioned, and at the same time think, maybe don't build a brand off accusing grieving families of hiding bodies and mastermind plots unless you've got serious, verifiable proof. You can feel for Erika as a widow and still want honest investigations into what happened, handled by actual investigators, not podcasters chasing the next viral clip. At the end of the day, I think Erika's one-word message, stop, is less about shutting down all curiosity and more about pleading for a little bit of mercy. Like, ask what you want, but don't forget that behind your favorite storyline is a real family, a real house, real kids, and a real empty chair at the dinner table. However you feel about Erika, Candace, Charlie, or the politics around all of them, that part is just basic humanity. All right, I'm going to leave it there and pass it to you. Do you think Erika is right to call this stuff out as garbage and beg people to stop? Or do you think Candace is doing what commentators are supposed to do and asking the hard questions, even when it hurts? Drop your thoughts in the comments, keep it respectful, and let me know whose side you're on, or if you're just tired of everyone turning tragedy into content. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload. This is the Short Clips Podcast on YouTube. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.